Hey guys, I'm happy that you are here. My name is Bechoy and I am your plantito from Mindanao. Tara at samahan niyo ako sa aking plant journey. To those who are new to this channel at sa mga hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, please click on the subscribe button at pakiclick na rin po ng ating bell notification para maging updated kayo sa mga latest videos ng Bechoy Vlog. And also guys, we have other social media platforms. So aside from YouTube, we have a Facebook page and our page is Bechoy Vlog, and we also have an Instagram account and our ID is Bechoy_vlog. And let's talk about plants. So if ever meron kayong mga questions about plants, plant cares, plant IDs, other stuffs about plants, you can send me a message or a DM sa ating Facebook and IG, and I will try my very best na masagot yung inyong mga katanungan. So for our episode today guys, we'll be talking about some general care tips on one of the most common house plants or yung mga indoor house plants, and that is our peace lily, or this is known as the spathiphyllum or spathiphyllum. Ano ba yung background ng ating spathiphyllum? So ito ating spathiphyllum, this is commonly known as peace lily, and it has some around 47 varieties of its species. And this is very common na house plants, pwede siyang pang office, loob ng bahay, so we can see them mostly na nakalagay sa mga sala, even sa kitchen, and sa rooms. So if you would want to add some taste or some different flavor or vibes in your room or in your dining area, in your kitchen or in your sala, yung ating peace lily is the perfect choice for you, and you can never go wrong having this one inside your house. And the reason as to why this is the perfect plant for you to be placed indoors is that this is one of the easiest plants talaga na i-take care, as in sobrang dali lang nilang alagaan guys. Ang ating peace lily is considered to be one of the lucky plants na pwedeng ilagay natin sa indoor. So if you're that type of person who believes in feng shui or sa mga pampaswerte ng mga halaman, this peace lily is a perfect choice for you. And to add to that guys, yung ating peace lily, and just like any other plants na nilalagay natin sa indoor, it helps in purifying the air inside our house. So 2-in-1 na siya, lucky plant and air purifier. So right now guys, I have with me my two peace lilies right beside me. So dito makikita natin siya that this is a variegated variety. And at this point, meron na siyang flowers, so this is fully mature na. And this peace lily that I have guys, this was given to me by one of my relatives, by Ate Karen. Thank you Ate Karen for this gift. This was given to me last November. And hindi naman ito pricey guys, this is a very affordable plant. Siguro sa market price ngayon nasa mga 100 to 200 pesos, makakabili ka na ng variegated na peace lily. So let's now talk about the care tips of our peace lily guys, and let's just divide it into 4 parts. First one would be the lighting requirements, second would be the watering needs, third is the soil mix that I'm using right now, and the fourth one, incorporate lang natin sa ating third, which is our fertilizer being used. And first up, ang ating topic na pag-uusapan guys is ang lighting requirements of our peace lily. So as I've mentioned earlier, itong ating peace lily, this is a very popular indoor house plant. But in my case, siguro alam na ninyo na most of my plants are really placed outdoors. So for this two pala, I place them outdoors where they get filtered sunlight all throughout the day. But itong ating peace lily guys, this is very ideal indoor house plant. So if you would want to place it indoors, it's highly advisable na ilagay natin sila near the windows or near the doors where they have access to bright light. And if you happen to place your peace lily indoors guys, it's also advisable that we have grow lights para ma-supplement yung kanyang mga lighting requirements. And only then, magmamature yung ating peace lily at magkakaroon siya ng mga flowers. And also, you have the option to place them outdoors, ilabas sila from time to time, siguro once or twice a week, para makasagap sila ng natural light. So going back to our peace lilies being placed outdoors, isa sa advice na may bibigay ko sa inyo guys is if nasa outdoor sila, just make sure that they don't be hit by the direct sunlight, especially kung hindi filtered, kasi they are very sensitive types of plants, just like our aglaonimas or our calatheas na medyo sensitive talaga pag natatamaan ng direct sunlight. So even though na medyo makapal yung kanyang mga dahon, these types of plants, itong ating peace lily, are very sensitive if matatamaan sila ng direct sunlight. If ever naman na overexpose yung ating peace lily sa too much sunlight, there are signs that we need to take note of para maagapan natin sila kaagad. So, kapag nakikita natin na medyo nagka-curl na yung mga dahon, then it's a sign na overexpose nila sa sunlight. So, immediately, dapat i-relocate natin sila sa isang area kung saan hindi sila natatamaan ng direct sunlight. Also, kapag nasa sunburn na yung ating mga peace lilies, just like any other plants, we can see some signs such as nagkakaroon ng mga browning spots or nagkakaroon ng mga holes sa gitna ng ating mga dahon. Let me emphasize lang din guys that the lighting plays a vital role for the development of the beauty of the plant. And if you would want your peace lily na magkaroon ng mga flowers just like this one, it's very important na bigyan natin sila ng sufficient lighting. And that's the bright and indirect sunlight. Filtered is okay, just make sure na hindi talaga sila matatamaan ng direct sunlight all throughout the day. So, in addition to that guys, one reminder din na may bibigay ko sa inyo is that kapag nasa low light sila na area or very minimal yung lighting na matatanggap nila, it would be very unlikely for them to produce flowers. So, kapag sufficient yung lighting, we can expect na magkakaroon ng flowers. Kapag medyo konti or very minimal yung ating lighting, then we could not expect flowers na ipoproduce na ating peace lily. So, parang magiging ordinary peace lily lang siya. So, it's very important na kapag gusto mo nang magkaroon ng different flavor or different beauty yung inyong peace lily, by having flowers, we provide them with the sufficient lighting that they need. And in addition to that guys, considering na itong ating peace lily na andirito is a variegated peace lily, we all know the importance of having a sufficient light para mapasustain natin yung variegations ng ating plant. So to summarize the lighting requirements of our peace lilies guys, number one, if we place them indoors, just make sure that we place them in an area na may access to bright light. So near the windows or near the doors, or if much better, meron siyang grow lights para ma-supplement yung kanyang lighting requirements. If ever naman nasa outdoors natin sila na ilagay, make sure lang na hindi sila matatamaan ng direct sunlight kasi that would cause sunburn or makakaroon ng damage yung dahon ng ating mga peace lily. So, yung kanilang requirement lang is bright and indirect light or pwede naman siyang bright light under filtered sunlight. So that would be it for the lighting requirement of our peace lilies. So now let's proceed to the second requirement natin, which is the watering needs of our peace lily. One of the most common mistakes in taking care of our peace lilies is overwatering. One thing for us to take note is that yung ating peace lilies, they can tolerate being underwatered as compared to being overwatered. And based on my actual experience in taking care of my peace lily guys, especially in the watering habit or the watering frequency natin, I wait na until medyo maging slightly droopy na siya and medyo dry, hindi naman totally but partially dry yung ating soil mix before I water them. And after watering naman our peace lilies, they can just recover very fast lang, as in within the day makaka-recover sila kaagad. So yun yung ginagawa ko instead of like regularly watering them in a frequent period, siguro once a week. I don't usually do that. So in my peace lily, I wait until medyo totally dry na talaga yung ating soil. And kapag medyo nagiging droopy na sila, then that's the time I water. And a few hours lang, makaka-recover na sila kaagad. There are signs naman guys for us to be aware if ever na overwater natin yung ating peace lily. Number one is kapag nagsa-start ng mag-yellow or may mga brown na ng mga areas dito sa ating mga dahon. Second one is kapag nagiging droopy or nagiging matamlay na sila. Then if ever that happens, we need to immediately uproot our peace lily and check if nagkakaroon ng root rotting. And we would know naman guys kung nagkakaroon na ng root rotting yung ating peace lily if ever na i-uproot natin sila, and then we would feel na merong mga mushy na parts sa mga roots and may mga foul smells. So I would like to share lang sa inyo guys, how do I water my peace lily? So in my case, as I've mentioned earlier, wala talaga akong regular schedule of watering like once a week or twice a week. Wala akong ganyan. I just make sure na perfect time na talaga na mag-water tayo na ating peace lily. So number one, I make sure na yung kanyang first top inch ay totally dry. So that's through finger test. And that's the time na mag-water na ako ng aking peace lily. And I do full watering sa aking peace lily. So I make sure na yung kanyang entire surface is na-water natin until eventually makikita natin na nagde-drain na yung water sa potholes. Meron din ako isang palatandaan before I water my peace lily. Again, as I've mentioned earlier, I wait na kapag medyo naging slightly droopy na yung kanyang mga dahon and kung makikita natin na medyo dry na yung kanyang surface. In terms of the pot size naman for our peace lily guys, I usually use a relatively large na pots for my peace lily kasi grabe sila mag-ugat, very intense sila mag-produce ng mga ugat or mag-grow ng mga ugat. And I also make sure na kapag pipili tayo ng pots, it's very important na dapat meron talagang potholes para makasupport ng water drainage. There are two factors that can greatly affect how fast your soil mix dries out. Number one would be the size of your pots. So we can expect na kapag medyo malaki yung ating pots na ginagamit, matatagalan din siyang mag-dry out. And the second factor that would affect kung gaano din kabilis mag-dry out yung ating soil is of course yung weather. So kapag medyo gloomy or medyo maulan yung panahon, then matatagalan mag-dry out. Kapag medyo naman summertime or mainit yung panahon, then we can expect na mas magiging mabilis din yung pag-dry out ng ating mga soil. For the misting naman guys, wala akong regular scheduling din with my peace lily. There are times na hindi ko ito nami-miss in a day. So may mga times na siguro once a week or twice a week ko lang siyang nami-misting, and that's okay for our peace lily kasi they don't really need that much misting or pagpapabasa na kanyang mga dahon. So this is really good for people who are on the go na pwede lang iwan lang ng ganyan yung ating peace lily and they would still be okay. Also, ang ating peace lily guys, they're also good to be grouped with other plants outdoors. One thing I've noticed also with our peace lily guys is that they are really dust magnets. So kadalasan makikita talaga tayo ng mga alikabok sa ating mga dahon ng mga peace lilies. So it's important that we wipe the dust sa kanyang mga dahon or paminsan-minsan isa-shower din natin sila para ma-remove yung mga alikabok or yung mga pests na nakakapit sa mga dahon. And by cleaning this mga foreign materials, yung mga dust and the mga pests, this will help our plant absorb yung lighting na kanyang kinakailangan. So to summarize the watering needs of our peace lily guys, number one na pinaka tinitake note ko talaga is wala talaga siyang regular schedule of watering. So we just need to make sure na medyo totally dry na yung kanyang surface. So that's the first stop inch by finger test. And that's the time na mag-water tayo and we do full watering for our peace lily. And the most important thing that we need to take note in watering our peace lily guys is that dapat walang overwatering. Kasi ito yung pinaka number one culprit na ikakamatay ng ating peace lily. So that's it for the watering needs of our peace lily, and we can now proceed to the third requirement, which is the soil mix being used for our peace lily. Yung ating peace lily, they love to be in an environment or soil mix na medyo compact and loamy. So majority of the component na gagamitin natin is loam soil. The soil mix characteristics na needed nating peace lily guys is number one, it needs to be able to hold moisture kasi they love to be in a medyo moist na soil mix. And important din na dapat well-draining yung ating soil mix na ginagamit. So yung mga components ng soil mix ng ating peace lily guys, it's very easy to find kasi hindi naman talaga maselan yung ating peace lily in terms of the requirements. So it's very easy to find. Yung mga components natin, majority is loam soil and that comprises 60%. So yun yung magpro-provide ng medyo compact na environment para sa ating peace lily. At the same time, it will also hold moisture for our plant. Second component naman natin is our pumice. And ito yung mga maliliit na mga bato, mga small stones or mga pebbles. Pwede din yun yung gamitin natin. At ito yung magpo-promote and it will help in the water drainage ng ating potting mix. Third component naman natin is ang ating rice hull. And that will comprise 10% by composition. At ito yung mag-a-absorb ng excess moisture if ever may mga excess moisture sa ating soil mix. At ang ating panghuling requirement or ating component is our fertilizer being used. And in my case, I am using vermicast. So if ever wala kayong vermicast, you can use naman other alternatives. Other animals manure, so pwedeng goats manure, cows manure, or horse manure, kung ano lang yung available sa inyong area. And that will comprise 10% by composition. So when is the best time to repot our peace lilies? Number one, meron tayong napakalaking evidence na makikita niyan. If dito pa lang sa topsoil natin, makikita natin na nagsisilabasan na yung mga ugat, then that's the best time na mag-repot tayo because hindi na natin ma-maximize yung growth ng ating peace lily. Isang evidence na makikita natin na dapat na talaga nating i-repot yung ating peace lily is if ever nagsisilabasan na yung mga roots dito sa ilalim. So like this one, nag-start na siyang lumabas dito sa ating mga potholes, then soon dapat i-repot na natin ito to a bigger pot. Another sign for us to take note of guys, if ever nakikita na natin na wala na masyadong growth or medyo nagiging matumal na siya, hindi na siya nagpo-produce ng mga panibagong dahon, then that would mean na na-overgrow or na-outgrow na niya yung kanyang pot, then that's the time na i-repot natin sila to a bigger pot. To summarize the soil mix for our peace lily, yung karakteristik na kailangan niya is dapat medyo compact, nakaka-hold ng moisture, but it's very important also na dapat well-draining yung ating soil mix. So going back to the fertilizer being used for our peace lily, as I've mentioned earlier, yung ginagamit ko is our vermicast. Actually, yung ating peace lily naman, hindi naman talaga sila matakaw sa mga fertilizer. In fact, they can survive and sustain kahit na walang fertilizer. Siguro when we fertilize, limit lang natin to twice a year when we add fertilizer. Yung na-notice ko din kasi with our peace lilies that they're very sensitive to mga fertilizers, especially kung inorganic based siya. There are signs naman na malalaman natin kapag na-over-fertilize sila, kapag nagkakaroon ng mga browning or nagiging kulubot or may mga yellow na rin na parts sa ating mga dahon. Yung ibang signs din na makikita natin is kapag merong parang nasusunog na ng mga parts sa ating mga dahon. So I highly recommend na ilimit talaga natin yung pag-fertilize ng ating mga peace lily. So if ever meron tayong makita ng mga damaged parts ng mga dahon ng ating peace lily, I really recommend na i-cut natin sila para mabigyan natin ng refreshing look yung ating peace lily. So that would be it, guys. That would be our topic for today regarding the general care tips for our peace lily. And I hope na meron kayong natutunan sa ating episode today. And so before we end our video, let us do our shoutouts. Shoutout kay Ma'am Tess Suganob. Hello din kay Sir J. Davillo. Shoutout na rin kay Ma'am Rose Amba. Shoutout also to Ann Buendia. Shoutout na rin kay Maluwalhati Javier. Shoutout also kay Roselyn Senas Pa Alisbo. Shoutout na rin kay John Mark Himilian. Shoutout also to Eddie Boy Samira. Shoutout na rin kay Scarlota Corilla. Shoutout na rin kay John Keith Ann. Shoutout also to Lourdes De La Rosa. And shoutout to Rian Denise and Real Eunice Onato. Guys, if you happen to like our videos, please don't forget to like and share to your friends and families. And if bago ka lang sa ating channel at hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, pakiclick na rin po ng ating subscribe button and of course yung ating bell notification para maging updated kayo sa mga latest uploads ng Bechoy Vlog. Once again, this is Bechoy, your plantito from Mindanao. Happy planting!